Class 10 English. Happy day students. Today we are going to read the lesson 9 BHOLI from your supplementary reader written by K.A. Abbas. Objectives of this lesson: to sensitize the students to the importance of education, to explain the importance of emotional security and family support for children, to indicate the need of love, encouragement and education for the disabled to fight against their odds, to demonstrate the use of simple past and past perfect tense in speech and writing, to stuff moral values in the students such as dowry is a social abuse. Any disabled should not be made fun of, etc. About the author. Khwaja Ahmad Abbas, also known as K.A. Abbas, was an Indian film director, screenwriter, novelist and a journalist in the Urdu, Hindi and English languages. He was born on 7th June 1914 in Panipat. He died on 1st June in 1987 in Mumbai. His famous books were The World is My Village, The 13th Victim, Distant Dream, awards, National Film Award for Best Feature Film, and so on. Introduction to the lesson. BHOLI is a story written by K.A. Abbas. The story revolves around a girl who, due to accidental fall and disease in her childhood, faces the problem of being dull and ugly. She is always a target by everyone for not being good looking and intelligent. Her life turns when she joins a nearby school where her teacher encourages her and helps her to become a learned and a confident person. Later in the story, circumstances arise where BHOLI has to give acceptance to the marriage with an unequal match but rejects it when she sees her father pleading to the bridegroom when he demands dowry. The story shows the rise of a girl against social injustice. Lesson at a glance. The story opens up with the introduction of a little girl named Sulekha. She was called BHOLI for being a simpleton. This was so because some part of her brain had got damaged due to an injury during her childhood. She stammered and had poke marks on her face, which she got when she had contracted smallpox at the age of 2. She was a laughing stock for everyone. Her father Ramlal was a Nambardar. He had 3 sons and 4 daughters, BHOLI being the youngest of all. Ramlal was always worried about her as it seemed impossible to marry her with her having an ugly face and a dumb mind. One day, the Tehsildar visited their village to inaugurate girls' primary school. He persuaded Ramlal to send his daughters to school. Ramlal's wife suggested to send BHOLI to school, although she was against sending girls to school because no boy would marry such a girl. She reasoned that as BHOLI had no chance of getting married, so she could go to school. In the beginning, BHOLI was frightened to leave her house, but when, for the first time in her life, she was dressed up and her hair was washed and oiled, she felt that she was to visit a better place. In the school, she met a teacher who was very kind and polite to her. She encouraged her to study and speak with confidence. This filled hope in BHOLI and she began to go to school every day. Years passed and her village upgraded into a small town with some facilities like a cotton mill, a cinema, and the primary school being converted into secondary school. One day, BHOLI's parents decided to marry her to a lame old man who was a widower but was rich and had not demanded any dowry. They thought it to be the best marriage proposal for the dumb daughter and fixed up her marriage. On the wedding day, the bridegroom arrived with great pomp and show, which filled Ramlal with joy. The groom discovered that Boli had pock marks and demanded dowry in return for marrying her. He demanded a sum of 5,000 rupees, but Ramlal begged for mercy and even placed his turban in Bishambar's feet. But Bishambarnath did not agree. Ramlal had to give the money in order to save both his family's honor and his daughter's marriage. Boli could not bear all this and refused to marry a greedy old man. People accused her of being shameless. The wedding party returned. The marriage ceremony ended without Boli getting married. Her father was surrounded by grief and said that now no one would marry her. And what would she do in future? To this she replied that she would take care of her parents when they grew old and would teach in her school. Her teacher, who was quietly watching all this, felt proud of her decision. Now just have a look at the new words and their usage. Simpleton, that means lacking of common sense. She is not able to behave well. She is a simpleton. Stammer means stutter. Raju stammered whilst delivering the speech on the stage. Prosperous, well off. They are prosperous and happy. Revenue, income. Kings used to collect revenue from their subject. Orchard, that is fruit garden. The group of monkeys had destroyed the fruits of orchard. Astonished, that is surprised. I was astonished when I saw the result of class 5th. Throbbing, that is beating. My heart was throbbing fast when I saw a snake. Limp, walk with lameness. The friend of Lord Krishna, Sudama, limps. Jealous, envious, jealous. Duryodhana was envious of Pandavas. Contemplating, thinking deeply. Contemplating is necessary for our golden future. Thank you.